First things first, take a deep breath, because today's whirlwind hits both heart and mind for every fan watching. There's a key piece who, even off the court, is already changing how this team defends. And there's a young gun who started as an emergency fix and could finish the season as the face of an unlikely turnaround. No exaggeration here. Choices made now can decide home court down the road. And there's a contract detail that explains why the front office is holding some cards close. You won't believe what's on deck today. So pull up a chair, hit subscribe if this content brings you value, drop a like, and let's get straight to the news. Breathe, Rockets Nation, because what looked like a pebble in the shoe is turning into fuel for a defensive leap. And yes, the name stuck in everyone's head is Dorian Finney-Smith, the guy who arrived on a savvy deal and already shifted the conversation without even stepping on the floor yet. He signed for 4 years, $53 million, with 2 years guaranteed and flexibility in years 3 and 4, including a player option in year 4. It's the definition of value in an era where 3 and D wings are gold and shortened playoff series. But shortly after signing, came ankle surgery and the team's calculated quiet. No official timeline, week to week, and Ime Udoka acknowledging in mid-October that the recovery slipped behind schedule, as documented by SI's Michael Shapiro. The big question was, can they stay a top 10 defense without the vet who reads screens like chess and triggers switches on autopilot? The latest numbers say yes, 113.5 defensive rating with the team in the league's top 10, which eases nerves but doesn't change the main thesis. With DFS, the bar jumps from competent to relentless. Here's the part to chew on. Udoka built a system on toughness and switching, but without DFS's physical and cerebral profile, the group leaned more on drop and situational zones, especially against creators who punish late closeouts. That can solve a night, not a series. Finney-Smith's track record shows a clear net rating bump for his teams. When he's on the floor, units defend cleaner, contest smarter, and turn defense into corner threes in transition. That's exactly the gear missing to turn good nights into winning streaks. And there's a teaching factor. On a young roster, having a wing who anticipates coverage, calls the switch before the pass, and adjusts hip angle on the screen is worth as much as a block. Quiet leadership that steals 2 points here, 3 there, and flips the clutch. The front office is discreet because the contract was built to preserve runway. 2 locked-in years, flexibility after, 0 pressure to rush him back. The priority is having DFS healthy when the schedule tightens and every possession cuts deeper, which makes sense competitively and financially. The fan base. Split, of course. Some want urgency, others celebrate top 10 defense without the starter and ask whether you should tinker with a 5 that's already delivering. But the truth is the ceiling hasn't been touched. With him, the point of attack is sturdier and Jalen can save juice early to close late. And plenty of opponents live off mismatch hunting. DFS kills that oxygen by enabling 1 through 4 switches with fewer holes, keeping the big at the rim instead of putting out perimeter fires. That tweak creates easy buckets on the other end. Remember this, once the back to practice update drops, and it will, the tone shifts from surviving well to imposing respect nightly, and the conversation moves from top 10 defense to a real push for home court in the first round. And that wasn't even today's biggest surprise. Because there's a rookie guard fast-tracking, earning trust minutes, and reshaping the board in a way nobody predicted in September, and the locker room's reaction left pretty clear clues about what's coming. The open wound at point guard became the season's tactical lab. Without Fred VanVleet, ACL tear, projected out for the year, Houston had to reinvent roles and rediscover identity in real time, with a brutal schedule offering no mercy. The front office lacked room to add without gutting the rotation, so the question pounding in the background was simple and ruthless. Who handles the ball in crunch time without breaking the defense? The first answers were more honest than romantic, and that's a compliment. Amen Thompson, on pure talent, blasted into the season with a wing's body, endless motor, and immediate impact, but confirmed what cold eyes suspected. He isn't a traditional point guard, and forcing him into that mold takes away what makes him devastating. Collapsing the first line and detonating the paint. The numbers tell it. Steady production at around 17 to 18 points, 6 to 7 boards, and 5 dimes on roughly 48% from the field, but a swingy 3-ball and half-court read still developing. Against average teams, it rolls. Against elite defenses, spacing demands a different primary initiator in certain windows. Enter the chapter no one wrote in September. Reed Shepherd. The rookie's minutes climbed. 26 in the NBA Cup debut versus the Spurs, 29 against the Bucks. And he became a swing piece in a comeback that lit up the locker room, capped by public praise from Kevin Durant on social media, which, in this Rockets ecosystem, hits harder than a podium quote. It's not just volume, it's profile. Shepherd is shooting the lights out for a rookie, around 47.9% from 3, flirting with top 20 in the league, which changes the offense's geometry without redrawing the playbook. Real spacing, rushed closeouts, back cuts, and simple reads that turn into tough buckets for the opponent. On defense, the pleasant surprise. Active hands, mature positioning, and feel in passing lanes, giving Udoka comfort to run two handlers next to Durant and Sengun without losing the backline. And when the kid jumps a lane, transition is born with a quarterback dart that burns clock and morale. The twist that scrambles fans' brains is tactical and political at once. Shepherd isn't being used as a pure point, but his blend of shooting, reads, and defense creates the ecosystem for Amen to attack strong side as a secondary slasher. In other words, point guard becomes a shared function, not a fixed job. That ties directly to Udoka's philosophy. Fewer labels, more responsibility by action. Who initiates, who finishes, who sustains advantage after the first closeout. All situational, all tethered to playing heavy and punishing mistakes efficiently. While the craving for a single owner of the offense grows, the answer might be diluting the job. Close with Durant steering 1-4, Shepherd stretching the weak side, and Amen attacking the second touch, with Sengun as the hub. 4 different decision points, 1 result. Smart possessions and intact defense. The crowd feels it in the bones. Wants leadership, but loves wins. Wants identity, but loves watching a rookie drill threes with ice. And the locker room seems to have voted with its respect, because public props from a superstar is the top key in the hierarchy's vault. Now lock this in for the final note. If the staff holds this balance, Durant's primacy in heavy possessions, Amen's attack freedom, and Shepherd's reliable volume, the Van Vliet absence can be mitigated enough to avoid capping the ceiling. And the debate ahead will sizzle, because it touches minutes, closing groups, and, yes, the competitive soul of this roster. So let's tie it all up the way this fanbase likes. Knives out, cool heads. The defense is already top 10 without Dorian, but with him Udoka's plan adds cleaner switches, fewer holes at the point of attack, and an elite ceiling that changes playoff series, backed by a smart contract that allows patience on the return. On the perimeter, Van Vliet's absence became a lab. Amen as a slasher and Shepherd as spacer/playmaker raised the collective and spread the point guard job by action, not by label. Now it's your turn. Did the Rockets nail this? Or is it a massive mistake? Drop your take in the comments, reading every single one. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can chop it up here daily.